Hey guys, what's going on? So we're going to continue where we left off and start with Crow, and then we're going to take a deeper look at Veronica because in the patch note there weren't as many details as I was hoping for, so we can check out the rest of her kit as well as her animations. We are back from the maintenance with another free 600 gems. I wouldn't mind, keep the maintenances coming, Vespa. So I was also looking at Crow a bit before the maintenance went down, and there were a couple times I said wow, because he, like the other two, is quite interesting. So we're checking out his passive first because then we're going to go into the training dummy to look at his animations. This one you do need to try and keep in your mind because it does correlate with his first skill. It says Crow is not affected by changes in attack speed. So period, that's just a side buff. I also just realized this could very well be a bad thing as well if it literally means that, so he'll always attack at the same speed regardless. If he has 1000 attack speed or 1500 attack speed. I believe there is a skill or two and an artifact that reduces attack speed. It's probably not a massive thing, but it's there anyway. This also comes with a pretty chunky attack buff and an 80% crit damage buff. There's no requirement for that, it's just there. And he is a mechanic, which means he starts off with like more crit damage than everyone else already. So he'll have a ton of crit damage, you might not need to build it on your gears. He also just recovers 300 mana every second, just because. Nothing needs to happen for this stuff, it's just there. But the important thing is that he will leave a hunting dog's fang mark to target for 40 seconds when dealing a normal attack, so an auto attack. So we're going to be looking at his auto attack first in the training dummy. Just check it out and also look at the hunting fang mark thing, hunting dogs, what was it called? Alright, so here's his auto attack. He is a pretty slow attacker, but that doesn't really matter since those stacks last for 40 seconds and it seems to refresh every time he attacks the target. There shouldn't be any problem keeping those stacks up. So his first skill attacks 15 times to enemies in front. This will also leave the hunting dog's fang mark for 40 seconds, just like his passive and the auto attacks. This can be stacked up to 100 times. So let's go ahead and try that out. Okay, yes, it did stack 15 marks of hunter. That's kind of what I just want to call it. So there's another damaging skill, but also with a bit of CC on it. Random enemy 10 times. Then he'll shoot a frost bullet that deals damage to the target he's aiming at, as well as surrounding enemies, so it's a bit of AoE there. And then it will freeze them, and I guess upon impact, there'll be a freezing area for 6 seconds that deals damage every 2 seconds with a 50% chance to freeze. And I guess that 50% chance procs on the damage, so 3 times 50% chance. Let's go ahead and look at it. So here it is, 10 random enemies. Damn. Alright, so there's the frost area you see below the training dummy. I don't know if it actually froze the training dummy. So his first skill and his auto attack stacks this dog's fangs mark, and his third skill consumes all current stacks on the target to deal extra damage. In addition to that, depending on how long he charges, it can have an additional 100% damage and a longer range. So let's go ahead and look at it. Let's let him fully charge. So there he is. Ooh, that is a slow charge. Damn, boom. Okay, it's just a one-shot skill, but damn, can you imagine doing that in arena? Whole team would be dead. So it says 2000 additional damage per mark. That doesn't really tell us anything because these numbers will be completely different once he's actually raised with gear on and all of that. But if we take a look at like his first skill, it does 64,000. We can kind of compare it. So I mean 2000, if we get 100 stacks up in there, that would be 200,000 extra damage in comparison. So it would be like doing his first skill 3 times that amount of extra damage from those stacks, if that kind of makes sense. Again though, that charging time is freaking crazy. I'm not sure where the hell that could be used, because in World Boss 2, where I think he would shine the brightest, the World Boss does so many CC and interrupting effects, I don't know. Hopefully he has a Transcendence perk that makes him CC immune. That would make him up. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and check that out. Also, what his unique treasure does to that third skill, that would also be interesting. So let's see, unique weapon, Hellish Sealing Stone. The normal attack shoots an additional bullet that deals 50% of attack SP damage. When the skill ends, Hellhound Akistra is activated, increasing attack by 30% and crit damage by 30% for 10 seconds. Hellhound Akistra is only activated once every 20 seconds. So a 50% uptime, it's like kind of an additional effect on his first skill. Okay, it's like a unique treasure for his first skill actually is what it kind of sounds like. But yeah, that sounds like a very good unique weapon. Absolutely needed in my opinion. I mean 30% attack boost and crit damage boost, even if it's only 10 out of 20 seconds, sounds quite good. And there it is on his unique treasure. Gains immunity to CC during skill activation and damage is increased by 20%. Damn it. So you need his unique treasure. I think you absolutely need it, regardless of what you're doing. The charging time is way too slow to not have CC immunity. But okay, let's go ahead and check out his Transcendence perks now. So skill 1, target will be eliminated upon each damage dealt recovers 30 mana. That would be 450 or almost half of an orb when all 15 attacks would land. Or you could stack up one additional Hunting Dog's Fang mark, which would also be interesting because then just using a skill 1 would get him nearly a third of the way to 100. Skill 2, you can reduce the cooldown by 3 seconds or increase the chance to freeze your enemy in the freezing area by 30%. That's a little bit weird. I mean, I guess it would go up to like 80%, so you could definitely think about it if you want some more CC in there. Just, if it would go up to 100, I would be all for it. I'm not sure I'd use a Transcendence perk to make it 80 instead of 50, unless I really needed that 2 seconds of CC, say in Arena. Oh, here's an interesting perk I don't think I've seen on any other hero. This will actually increase the cooldown by 10 seconds of his third skill, but it'll also double the damage. On almost every other skill, I'd probably say this isn't worth it, but you need time to get those 100 stacks of Hunting Dog's Fang mark, so that may very well be worth it, because especially while he's on auto, you don't want him to use this too early or you're missing out on some damage. So just tumbling it around in my head, it sounds like actually a very good perk. Or you could reduce the mana cost by 1. Personally, I would have to choose light. And his passive skill will have another addition on it where bosses will take 15% more damage, or another added effect, mana recovery will be increased by 40%. Both are pretty solid, and it really depends on where you're taking him. If you're mostly taking him to world boss, guild raid, etc., then maybe the light would be better. If you feel like he doesn't have enough mana, then of course dark would be better. And his T5 is also quite interesting. It would increase the mana cost of all skills by 1, but damage would be increased by 75%. Yes. So maybe skill 4 dark and T5 dark would go well together. You would have more mana recovery, and I think he gets like 300 mana per second just from his passive as well. You could also give him the light skill 1, just he'll be swimming in mana so he could actually pay for the T5 dark with the damage boost. Oh man, I think if someone is really lucky and gets a ton of his unique weapons, we're gonna see some crazy numbers because he's just so pure damage. I already have 2 good physical DPS, Mitra and Gladi, but I kind of want him the most, to be honest. Could think about replacing Gladi in my world boss team, but Gladi does have the 50% P-amp, so would be a hard decision if I get one or the other of his unique weapons, but not going to count my chickens before they hatch. All around though, sounds like an amazing DPS. I would say he's like similar to Mitra, but I mean, I think he can get those stacks up quite a bit faster than Mitra can. So even for like harder chapter contents where there's the boss at the end, he could probably get like, you know, 40, 50 stacks up and then do his third skill within just a few seconds, because he can get, you know, up to 30 just with skill 1 if you have the right perk, and every auto attack gives more, so definitely something to think about. And so that's pretty much Crow. We're gonna go back to Veronica, so let's go check her out. Speaking of which, we could actually almost get her. Like, we are pretty close. We have 72k there, 13k there, I think that's like 95k, like 10 Ring of Friendships. Oh yes, and here's the unique treasure ticket. Could have had 600 already. Let it go, Moga, let it go. And here, okay, uses material to craft this. Okay, but yeah, where do you get it? So yeah, so they are here, but are they anywhere else? Just in case, I'll grind a few things, see if maybe we get any, but I don't think so. Let's go ahead and check out Veronica again, but we're gonna be a bit quicker about this one because we did go over her in the last video. So the first thing I want to figure out is this top financier's knowledge. So it looks like she has a stack, and now 2 stacks, and now 3 stacks. And now she has the financier's knowledge, or whatever the hell it's called. Now she has 1 stack, 2 stacks of this skill stuff. Okay, so basically every 3 skills she uses, she'll get another stack of the financier's knowledge. Actually, oh my god, I didn't even realize that 5 stacks of this top financier's knowledge would be 150% attack boost and 50% more skill effects, as well as not being able to be dispelled. Wow. Alright, so let's go back to the training dummy and check out her skill animations. Skill 1 just looks like a little stun. Let's go ahead and check that out. She is ranged. Alright, that was pretty cool. This was another thing I was questioning because we couldn't see the cooldown of this skill. It has a 25-second cooldown and a 10-second buff. There's a Transcendence perk that can make that go down to 20 seconds. The attack boost does seem pretty big, but damage to bosses by 15%. I don't know. It's a pretty slow casting. So I'd actually say, again, she's more of a long fight DPS. I think she can very much be a DPS because of this top financier's knowledge stacks, but more in longer fights. I mean, primarily she is a support with her second skill and the fact she stuns with her first, and she has an imp on her third, as well as a knockdown. But with her passive and a couple unique weapons perhaps, she could probably do a lot of damage. Let's check out the animation of her third skill. It just throws papers. We already checked out her unique weapon and unique treasure. I'm just gonna quickly harp on the unique weapon real quick because I didn't realize how massive this is, it being able to go up to 9 stacks. That's like an extra 120% attack. So that's freaking crazy actually. Well, her T5 Dark, reducing the cooldown of all of her skills every 20 seconds, along with the 5-second reduction on her skill 2 Dark, you might get close to like, I don't know, 60-70% uptime, something like that, which, you know, might be actually really good. So I don't think she needs her unique weapon to be a supporter, but I think she definitely needs it to be at her potential as far as DPS is concerned. I would say T5 is a must though, because you want the cooldown, and if you want her to be a supporter, then you want the skill 2 cooldown as well. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Veronica. I'm a little bit hesitant to get her, honestly, just because I don't think she'll really fit in with my physical team. I mean, even though she might with the right Transcendence perk, before I get her and spend all this stuff in her, so we're going to do our summons first. If we only get a unique open for like one of those new heroes, and we only have one to raise, then I'll probably get Veronica and raise her as well, because I have like enough stones to raise 2 heroes. I think 45 you need for 3. So we're gonna raise 2 heroes in the next couple of days, either Veronica and one of the new ones or 2 of the new ones, but RNG will decide that pretty soon. So tell me what you think about Crow and Veronica. Also, you can leave your thoughts about the other 2 heroes in the comments down below as well, since these are kind of connected. Leaving a like if you did happen to enjoy would also be greatly appreciated. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.